Thanks for coming in. It's great to have you here. I think an interesting place to start would be the Lib Dems' commitment to build 300,000 new houses a year, because you're the only party who have met and in fact exceeded the 250,000 a year mark that has been set out by a wide range of people. How do you intend to do it?
We need to do it by a variety of means. One is by naming garden cities and actually making them happen. The second thing we need to do is allow housing associations off the leash. What I mean by that is they're all desperate to build and they've actually got resources to build with. The problem is they're not allowed to spend them because the Treasury rules say you can't borrow over a certain proportion of your property. If you are a housing association, well, they should be allowed to borrow against their capital just like any other company. You then need to bring in a housing investment bank to make sure that developers' heads are banged together. They are given plans that they then work with. In the end, though, you need a slightly more strategic vision to really solve the problem in a way which is going to be sustainable. And that is to make those bits of the United Kingdom that are not London and the South East matter more. Well, it's actually about revisioning Britain. At the moment, we're just meeting demand for lots of commuters and so on around London and the South East. Actually, a real vision will be to develop the rest of the country and to meet the needs of those places. But you're only going to do that if you can make those places matter economically, irrespective of their relationship to London.
And that is, of course, the great irony, because that is where we did build houses in the 60s and 70s, because that's where our jobs were. And then our jobs moved to service industry jobs in new towns, different areas, and left these great tracts of housing that were built for industry that doesn't exist anymore.
That's right. So I'm for HS2, but it is slightly patronising, the notion that all the North needs is to be able to get to London 20 minutes quicker. It's fine, but in the end, that is not the solution. The solution is actually to make the big cities of the North and the West Country, East Anglia, East Midlands, West Midlands, Scotland and Wales matter intrinsically.
Even if we build a lot, there is still a vast amount of spare capacity in the existing housing stock. One thing we've been campaigning for is an increase to the rent-a-room scheme tax threshold to encourage people to rent out what are somewhere like 19 million empty bedrooms in owner-occupied properties in England alone. Is that something you think would be useful?
The rent-a-room scheme's been a good success, but actually it should be enhanced, and so I'd very much support your proposal on that. I'd also say that there's an awful lot that can be done with empty properties just generally around the country. Councils, my council, for example, made good use of empty dwelling management orders, which is basically requisitioning of empty properties and using them as social rented homes, and it's worked very well. In my neck of the woods, in Cumbria, in and around the Lake District, something like 1 in 7 of the properties in my constituency is a second home, owned by somebody who is well off enough to own at least 2, and that pushes up prices. It kind of robs communities of depth and variety, and it means you've not got houses for local people and people on lower incomes. And so one of the things I'd like to do is to allow councils the ability to charge additional council tax to people who have a second home and use that money for a number of reasons, but one of which would be to pump prime the development of new affordable houses, and indeed to reclaim some of the properties that are not currently being made best use of and turn them into local homes.
Thanks for coming in. It's been a pleasure to meet you.
Matt, thanks for having us.